You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just don't unplug anything else. You'll be fine, Matt.
Yeah, I know. All right, I did it. I did the thing. Look, you're
Okay.
right there. Look, there you are. I did it.
It's right there?
You're number
Okay.
6.
Hold on. Oh, that's the wrong button. Can you tell me what the button is underneath it?
6.
6. Give me a second. Okay. You see this? Yeah, there we are. Okay.
Yeah.
Click kind of on the middle. Okay.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Service announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Zeke Mercer, one half of the Tag Team Champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by Indy Wrestling US. Check out IWC, RWA, and more. And listeners like you, support this show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back.
Hey guys, it is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter. I hope everything's recording. We are live. Well, I am live via Pittsburgh, PA, but in Kingman, Arizona. I forgot where I was because I've been in a new state like every day, and it's ridiculous. And I was in New Mexico this morning. So we are here. I am here at a campsite. We're connected. We have things. I brought a camera with me, so hopefully it looks a little bit better. But with me, first of all, in Beacon, New York, still by way of Pittsburgh digitally, is the only Mayhem here with a future endeavor letter from the WWE. It's Mad Mike.
There are 3 shots of vodka in each of these cans, and well, I have 2 of them, and I'm almost done with this one, and we haven't started the show yet. So
I'm sure
it's going to be a wild ride, folks.
It'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure.
Hey,
sure
I made it to get married before the end of the world, so I'm good. I'm good. I beat expectations.
You checked all the boxes. You checked all those boxes.
Most of them.
Do you remember?
There's a couple boxes, but I mean, you know, I mean, A's would be great, but C's get degrees. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man! You remember all those old YouTube or iTunes comments we used to have on this podcast, where it was like, "You guys are unmarried and living in your mom's basement."
Yes,
we just checked all those things off.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, I was in an attic. All right,
that's right. That was your mom's attic. Yes,
that was my mom's
attic.
Attic. Yeah.
Yes.
And now I have my
own
room in my own house that I partially pay for.
Partially. I don't even own my own car.
Wow. And by the way, I counted a lot of my pop figures last night. I have 86 pop figures, at least.
True sign of an adult. Anyways,
yes.
Of course he's an adult. How would he pay for those pop figures? But also, we're forgetting the person who's making this all happen. Really, that's on the ones and twos, as I usually am. Matt Carlins of the mainstream media is now Matt Carlins of the podcast media in Sorgatron Media Studio in Pittsburgh, PA.
Wait, do I know what I'm doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, camera.
It's on the ATEM. It's on the ATEM.
I'm blowing it already.
It's the one on the right. It's the one on the right. You have to hit the control button first. Hold on a second. Hit the control button, and then you can hit 1 and 2. There you go. Live training.
I can't
live training.
Really do. I thought I had like a quit button for this, but I did not.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You Sorg, we got together last week. You taught me so much. I regret to inform you, I retained about 2% of it. I mean, and I know I made unrealistic promises to you before you left on this journey, before you drove 2,000 miles away from the Sorgatron Media Studios and just left me here with my empty promise to you that yes, Sorg, don't worry, I can totally do this, no problem. The ones and the twos, the buttons and the whatnots, I can absolutely push these buttons. I can absolutely make this show fly. I'm having my doubts. I'm very nervous right now. I'm scared. I'm in a cocoon of terror right now. I'm going to take the camera off of me right now so I can crawl under the desk.
By the way, show title, Cocoon of Terror.
Cocoon of Terror. You know what? Now that I'm not doing all the things there, I can actually take notes for the show, so I'm not up until 3 in the morning figuring out what's going on. Cocoon of Terror.
Cocoon of Terror.
I'm in it.
We have a question in the chat room, very important one. What's the over-under that Matt accidentally ends the stream? Ooh, I don't
think I can do. I don't. You know, I didn't. I barely even started the stream, Sorg. So I don't even think I have the ability. I'm such an idiot. It's beyond my ability to screw up. But
I forgot to hit record on the video backup that I was going to use for my editing. But
hey, you know what? We just had a fantastic MacGyver-like blue wire or red wire moment before the show that everyone missed as I was crawling underneath this table, and it was exciting.
So let me describe what was happening before we went live. I had Matt futzing around with all sorts of wires. Sorg was like, "Are you sure that's an HDMI? What does it say?" Matt's like, "It says BAM on it." And Sorg's like, "It doesn't say BAM." It was like watching 2 guys who know each other but had never played a new Jackbox game before, and it was one of those cooperative ones.
Yes, like the rap one. Well, anyways, let's do something that we know how to do, and that's how to introduce the show at least.
Oh, yes.
Guys, please go check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Check out, please hit up the email address. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. It's weird being on the other side of the Google Meet delay. 412-206-WMS0 at Mayhem Show on the Twitter. Please hit up the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group and Facebook page where we are hopefully live right now.
We are.
It's totally there. It's totally there.
Relatively 9 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook Live and a bunch of other platforms as well. Or whatever the hell time it is right now. I honestly have no idea.
No one knows what time it is.
We had daylight savings while I was crossing time, so it was not a good scene. Anyways, and also thank you to our Patreon supporters. Where this week your Patreon support will be read to you from a campground in Kingman, Arizona, by me. Thanks to our friends at the Fantasy.
Can you read it in the tune of Camptown Races?
Who's so loud because I don't want to disturb my neighbors more than I already am. So I will let you guys do that. I'm going to go, diggity. Woo! Thank you. Ed Burke, Bobby F. J. Town, Team Hammerfist, Club Level, our friends Bradley, Ruthers, or Bradhausen, if you will. Please go check out that video if you haven't already. Butthausen. Yeah. Also Butthausen, yes. Our friends Ed Burke, Bobby F. J. on Team Hammerfist, our friends at the Poppy Club level, that would be Doc Remedy and Kyle Turner, and at the manager level, OccupyProWrestling.com and Farnsworth Investments. Thank you, everybody who has been supporting the show at Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. And again, if you guys like what's going on, or just feel sorry for us, go ahead and support the show. So let's get into, okay, I feel weird because we are like a couple days removed from Halloween itself.
Poppy is back in our life.
Poppy is back in our lives, and I hope this card doesn't hit me. But Poppy is back in our lives. There was they really did treat that thing like a pay-per-view last week, didn't they?
It was fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I'm on my second one of these, so it's gonna get weird. But yeah, no, Halloween Havoc was fucking fantastic. Like it's the first time I've watched NXT pseudo live in a while. Usually I watch it either on the network or like I'll do like a binge watch of NXT and catch up on like a couple weeks in a row. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't spoiled on anything for Halloween Havoc. Like I actually stayed off Twitter and everything for it. I was pleasantly surprised by the whole damn thing. And Sorg, Matt, they had the giant pumpkin. They had the inflatable pumpkin.
You know what that was deeper into the warehouse of WCW trinkets than I thought they would go. But so I was proud of them for doing that.
That wasn't the same one.
You're right. They probably just ran down the street to the Spirit Halloween and picked one up. Yeah.
Matt, my favorite thing about not my favorite thing, but one of my favorite things from Halloween Havoc was when Gargano and Priest brawled in the backstage area. You could see that they kept all the boxes from the Spirit Halloween decorations so that they could return them before Halloween.
I'm going to need a screen cap of that.
That was my favorite thing. There was just like a big like laundry basket case, and you can see just boxes like foaming skull. I'm like, oh my god, they kept the boxes for everything. Like the only thing they can't return is the inflatable pumpkin that Johnny Gargano went all heel Bailey on. And credit to my wife. We were watching that, and I was like, they have the inflatable pumpkin. She's like, what does that mean? I'm like, it's very important. She's like, someone's gonna pop it. I'm like, no, they're not. And sure enough, Johnny Gargano just. So now he loves wheels, but hates pumpkins.
Yeah, face turn on wheels apparently.
Since we're on the Spirit Halloween kick for a second here, this goes very nicely into my 13-year-old son's reaction to Halloween Havoc. My older of my two sons. My younger son loves wrestling, can't get enough of it. My older son typically cannot care less. But what he does love, as much as we love wrestling, he loves Halloween more than anything in the world. So the thought of anything Halloween related was good for him, and he was absolutely in love with this show. He immediately recognized that Johnny Gargano was cosplaying as Jack Skellington, which was very impressive.
Yes.
And he also had a very, very excited reaction to another match that was on Halloween Havoc. And I don't want to steal anyone's thunder and jump too far ahead on this, but he is obsessed with the Dexter Lumis, Cameron Grimes haunted house match. He has asked to watch this. He has rewatched this match at least 4 times already since last Wednesday. My 13-year-old son, who does not give 2 craps about wrestling, loves the haunted house match. So good job, WWE. You have expanded your horizons and drawn in new viewers with this one.
Wow.
I will say, the extras they got for that match, doing like the zombies that could like do the contortionist and stuff like that. I don't know where in Central Florida they're central casting for that kind of stuff, but brava. Maybe they're out of work Cirque du Soleil actors. Maybe they're performance center.
They had
Universal Studios, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, like wherever they pulled them from, that was a stroke of freaking genius. And all right, I will say, with Thanksgiving coming up, I think there should be a cinematic Thanksgiving match. Now, I don't know what this is,
but it has to involve Cameron Grimes dressed as a pilgrim.
Yes.
Plus a giant egg, plus the gobbledygooker. I mean, that's a go-to.
Oh my god!
Well, that is the ultimate low-hanging fruit joke for WWE to pull on Thanksgiving. They will do that.
All right, I have a question.
Wait, Mike, before you get your question, let me roll back on that for a second. Because, I mean, the only thing that makes sense is that we do have a giant egg, and Drake Maverick comes out, but he's wearing the turkey costume from TNA that he had to wear one year.
I was going to say, what if there's a giant egg, but it's the return of Karrion Kross? No, but
the egg catches on fire.
Yeah, it's like an evil giant, or like Scarlett's in there and she pops out after Finn Balor successfully defends the NXT title, and she pops out of the egg like tick tock with the fucking Boogeyman's clock or something. Apparently Casey Catanzaro was one of the zombies.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah, no, that makes sense too. Also Brianna, I don't know who that is. Tina's saying in the chat room. But
Brianna,
yeah, I don't know who that is. But
it's probably one of those PC girls.
it helps that Cameron
Like Jessica.
Grimes, it helps that Cameron Grimes is, and I said this last week, I think. I don't know if this was something I said on the show or something I said to you after our Monday show. So Cameron Grimes is the epitome of every person who gets killed in a horror movie. You said that to me, I think, on the show last week, and that's what made me excited for that match. Yeah, because like he's Southern, he's stupid, he's topless, and he's scared easily. That like if you have 4 people killed in a horror movie, boom, 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 right there, right there, you have your quadfecta.
That match was tremendous. It was. I loved William Regal being the kind of instigator of this too, and forcing him to just like, hey, walk out. I didn't even mind Doc Hendricks showing up at the band playing his Freebird song.
Yeah, Bad Street.
Yeah, Bad Street. Like I'm like, okay, like so yeah. Oh, okay, we have the good.
They have weird Ubers in Florida. That's fine.
Tell me about it.
Do you know you can Uber a white kidnapper van in Florida, Sorg? That's so weird.
It's more common than you think.
Especially around the PC.
But you know what else I do like, and this is non-scary stuff, but fellas, we're gonna have one hell of a War Games match. We are gonna have one doozy of a War Games match. We're gonna have the Undisputed Era versus Pat McAfee, which I'm now calling the Brand. I'm gonna call it the brand. I
like that. By the way,
well, that's what his shirt says. That's what his gimmick all is. So I'm gonna call it the brand. But Pat McAfee, Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch, and Pete motherfucking Dunne. Yes, and please. Oh my God! Like that War Games match is gonna be sick. I'm very excited for it.
It's gonna be nuts. And man, I can't. We all forgot about Pete Dunne when we were doing that big question last week, weren't we?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
completely.
yeah, we
Well, I
totally
thought he
forgot
was
about
still
Pete
stuck
Dunne.
in Europe. I saw he was still stuck in Europe.
Yeah. Well, this guy's getting over. I mean, the Birch is over. Well, Birch has been over for a bit.
But Birch has been on 205 Live. He's been a mainstay. Birch and Lorcan have been on 205 Live all through the pandemic and everything. But I guess with Pac coming back, I guess there's travel restrictions lifted.
I don't know necessarily Pac's promoting Pac as proof that he's coming back here to the States, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention
AEW Europe.
I wanted to mention something real quick, just so that
European wrestling.
Just so that we don't forget to mention this. I want to give props to Shotzi as the host, because I don't think there's anybody else that they have who could have pulled that off. Like, she was really great. Like, she's like a star now. And she didn't even have to wrestle a match. She just had to go out there and just play this role. She was so great.
Well, I read an interview of her. Like, she admired Elvira when she was younger.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, no, seriously. But like the fact that they basically were like, "Hey, do you want to host Halloween Havoc?" And she's like, "I get to be the Elvira for a wrestling show." Yes, I love that she had costume changes too. Like 3 costume changes. It was fairly impressive.
I mean, she has some time. Come on, she showed up like once a half hour. So, listen. Until you've seen in this moment do costume changes in the middle of a set, you're not impressed. I'm not impressed, at least.
But the Candice Io match, Jesus, they beat the crap out of each other.
It was a tremendous show, and it got me to watch it live as well, Mike. Again, as I've told you, I've been tried and true watching AEW live for months at this point. Just because I just like, I'm gonna watch NXT the next day. That's fine. You know, I can wait a day and watch it with no commercials on the network. That's fine.
It's easier. And I gotta admit the same thing too. I was flipping back and forth live, and I almost never do that. So I give the NXT guys a lot of credit for putting something together that actually lured me away from watching AEW for one Wednesday night. So yeah, they deserve a lot of praise for what they did. They not only got me and Sorg to flip over, they got my ambivalent 13-year-old son to watch and get interested. I mean, this was a big win. Now it's a question of how much of this momentum they can carry forward. But I think they're doing a lot of smart things right now on NXT.
Yeah. It makes me, and as I've figured, I don't want to get into it, but I'm so done with Monday and Friday again. Like, it didn't last. I was good. Thunderdome, I was back, and I just don't even care. Like, I'm okay that I have an excuse not to bother watching it for the next 3 weeks. So
I don't think that much is going to change, to be honest, because it's Survivor Series.
No, it's still paint by numbers. Like, when you talked to me last night about what's happening with the Miz and Otis, I'm just like, we've seen this before a million times, and I'm so tired.
The most I can see changing is I don't think we're getting Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. I don't think we're getting that match, because putting those two up against each other, it doesn't help anyone. I think somehow Drew is going to get a rematch beforehand, and The Fiend is going to cost Randy the title. And we're going to get Fiend versus Orton at Survivor Series in a cinematic match.
I think I don't know. It's hard to know what they're thinking long term on this thing. It almost felt like, in a way, like they're trying to keep Drew and Roman away from each other. But I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. I don't feel like Roman Orton is something that they need to worry about avoiding.
Yeah, but neither of them are talking about the other one.
Well, I mean, that's because it's Survivor Series, and to be frank, usually built Survivor Series kind of stinks, and they spin their wheels, and it just doesn't. I mean, if the last couple of years have been well, you know what? On the same. On the same topic though, last year's Survivor Series was really interesting because they brought in NXT. But overall, I mean, the brand versus brand thing usually feels a little bit flat to me.
And the year before that was when we got Becky as the man. Like that build was going to be really good, and it got more interesting when Charlotte had to take over. Like,
and to throw back a point, I just want to point out that I just made the first costume change of this show.
I'm very proud of you, Sorg.
Yes.
Very proud of you.
It's getting a little chilly. Like, just enough. So.
But yeah, I mean, like, I think because they keep stressing that as long as the champions remain the champions, I think we're going to see one title change before the pay-per-view because we have a couple weeks, especially because the way it seemed like Drew was being on Raw, he's gonna want a rematch for that title sooner rather than later. And Miz cashing in on Drew makes a hell of a lot more sense to me than Miz cashing in on Orton again. Especially when The Fiend is clearly targeting Randy Orton and doesn't give a fuck about Drew McIntyre. So, I mean, I really feel Drew versus Roman makes a lot more sense to me.
I don't. You know what I do care about? And I don't have the graphic up here because we didn't set that up with Matt yet because he's done enough. Damn it! But you know what? You know I am excited for Indy Wrestling. A lot of great stuff going on out there, including this past week, and you can still pick it up officially on the iPay-per-view at IndyWrestling.live. Hardcore Halloween from Prospect Pro Wrestling. I know, and of course there's other stuff going on. Just dropped tonight. Wrestling Mayhem Show has been sponsoring the Fight Underground promotion with this last recording that just started this week, going out there with the Rev Ron Hunt and Loss Prevention. So go check that out and see what happened there. And there's going to be you're going to be getting Fight Underground sponsored by the Wrestling Mayhem Show until the end of the year, in conjunction with IndyWrestling.us. But also, well, let's roll back for a moment because give you guys a chance to watch that match before we talk about it. But I know Prospect Pro Wrestling, Matt, you sat in and watched that thing, and I was having fun with your tweets.
There was a lot. I had a lot of fun watching this show. It was crazy. It was zany. It had this great kind of GCW kind of vibe to it, in my opinion. And I thought it was a lot of fun. The very beginning of the broadcast of the Hardcore Halloween, I would categorize it as shocking. I would call it a little bit controversial, a little salacious. But then I think of the people involved, and I'm like, maybe not so surprising. I mean, Sorgi, I mean that was something else on a show in which we saw front loaders and caskets and all other types of paraphernalia. I mean, the most shocking one was straight from Jump Street. Sorg is distracted. Oh no, the locals may have gotten to him.
This kid's over here playing Pokemon. Hey, come here a second. We're live on the internet. No, just some random people playing Pokemon at this campsite. This is what's happening right now.
Is that what they do?
Say hi to the internet. So, hi. So,
hello, children.
You guys
catch
like
them all, young kids.
Yeah, we
a little bit.
I like wrestling.
You like wrestling? Who's your favorite wrestler? That's another podcast. I don't know if we're allowed to do that.
This is what's called exit polling.
This is exit polling. Yes. Who's your favorite wrestler?
My favorite wrestler is John Cena.
We got John Cena. We got a John Cena fan here.
That's right.
Solid
you?
choice.
Yeah, good choice.
Just saying, solid choice.
He's an old
The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you like Rock's dad?
Yeah.
He said Rocky Johnson, The Rock's dad.
Okay.
This
Good
is
job.
this is wrestling hipster over here.
Yeah, very hipster. Very hipster
before
call.
your dad was born.
Yeah.
What are you? You The Rock? We got a Rock fan.
I mean,
awesome.
I mean, he's the new go-to. I mean, no one answers Hogan anymore. They always just go.
Right,
if you don't have an answer, you just go The Rock. The Rock's my favorite.
I am battling a now.
Oh, I don't know what any of these guys are. I haven't played Pokemon Go in like 6 months.
Sorg, who's your favorite Pokemon?
What's up? All right, thanks a lot, guys.
No problem.
Have a good night.
And that was the interview for tonight.
Yeah, that was our interview since we didn't have a wrestling guest. So. I didn't tell him what podcast this was.
Random youth off the street.
Yeah, the youth off the street.
I mean, you gotta love just like the energy of those kids, just like playing Pokemon, not a care in the world. It's all good. See, be like those kids. Go catch yourself some Pokemon and forget about your troubles.
And I also just realized like none of us were wearing masks, and this is the point. This is the point that it happens. I get it. Soul Trip. So, the quarantine on wheels is now done. So, but anyways. No, it was a very interesting show. It was very surprising, and it was kind of interesting. So, anyways, so there's a pay-per-view this weekend. Matt, can you talk about it? And I want to go check on something real quick.
Sure. I'm sure we'll have a chance to talk more about the. I love talking about AEW pay-per-views, but man, Mike, I cannot miss this opportunity to take control of this television show. What the hell am I even talking about? To take control of this internet broadcast and steer it in a different direction, because one of the items on our big wheel, make the wheel, take the deal, make a meal. What did we do with the wheel? What was it called again, Mike? Anyway, when we spun the wheel to choose our topics for the show last week, there was a topic on there that I was really hoping we'd get to, and we didn't get a chance to get to it. And that was, of course, But I Love Him, Poppy.
Oh God, why are we talking about this again?
True love again in our time between a 32-year-old man and a 19-year-old girl. Hey, it's been known to happen, but I mean, just real. I just want quick takes, real quick.
Are you trying to make me chug the rest of this can?
No, you can chug your can in a second here. I just want your quick take on this, and then we're gonna play a fun game to try to elevate this very uncomfortable storyline to something that we can all have some fun with. So
I was slightly concerned on how many of our female wrestling friends related to this in a scary way that made them uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot about this that's really creepy and awkward. Yeah. And like, I'm not saying this story can't be done. Obviously, it can be done. It is being done, but it can be done in a way where there's
it exists.
I mean, there's no doubt it can be done. It is. So yeah.
I'm saying in terms of fictional storytelling. Obviously, there are ways this can be done. But with something that's this divisive, it needs to be done with a deft hand. It needs to be done with a lot of nuance and a lot of subtlety, two things in which WWE is not great with doing. And it also needs to be done with a lot of agency for the female, especially in this situation, which it's definitely not being handled at all.
It's almost like the writers of WWE didn't pay attention to the summer.
Yes.
Like, It was 3 weeks between she's whacking him with a kendo stick and handing it to her mom and saying, "Hit him!" And then 3 weeks later, she's like, "Oh, he got hurt once, and now I'm really worried about him." It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like that,
Mike.
That's one of my biggest problems with
Mike. I don't know how your courtship went, okay? But from somebody with over 15 years of marriage experience,
you met on the internet.
You went on the internet because
just like all of us.
Hold on. Quick love story here. We met on the internet because I went to school with the guy who's in Jurassic Park that my wife happens to love that movie and stalked him on Facebook. That's the only reason. That's the only reason we matched on the dating site that we were on. That's 1,000% truth, because the site we use, Coffee Meets Bagel, matches through friends of friends on Facebook.
Well, in my courtship, her grandmother, God rest her soul, hit me with a kendo stick. So I'd say this is not too far outside of the realm.
Tina's also asking, question, reverse the ages, what would you think about it then? I would also think it was weird. If Dominic Mysterio was being courted by Mickie James, it would be fucking weird. It would be fucking weird on every single conceivable level. I don't, it's fucking weird. And especially if the person was just beating someone with a kendo stick 3 weeks before, like, oh, is he okay? Fuck off.
It makes me. I'll just say it's, and I can only speak specifically to this one storyline going on right here without trying to expand out into into the realms of like broad generalizations of what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. It's making me uncomfortable, and I've already had to have a discussion with one of my kids about what the hell is going on, and I'm just like, and they're just like, and no, it's not cool. It's not cool, and I'm sorry if that makes me some old man. I can't, it's a bridge too far for me. I cannot.
The thing is, I don't mind, like, the age difference. Yes, it's problematic. I've seen stuff like that happen before, but it's the fact that it also makes no fucking sense. If this was something, no, I'm serious. If this was something where Murphy had already started to turn on Seth Rollins and like Murphy, let's say he saved Dominic from being like having the same thing happen to Ray. Like if Seth tried to take out Dominic's eye like they took out Ray's eye, and Murphy stopped it and started beating Seth Rollins' ass, okay, that's one thing. That's one thing. That's a little bit different than this whole fucking shit that we have now.
All right.
And
now,
Tina's asking in the chat room, was it weird when Vince and Trish was a thing? Yes, it was fucking
it was weird.
It was even weirder, to be perfectly honest, because he's her boss.
Perfect segue. Thank you, Tina. Perfect segue, because I said we were going to try to have a little bit of fun with this. So I did a little bit of research, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a pop quiz, Mad Mike and Sorg. I'm going to bring up a storyline relationship from WWE's past, and the two of you are going to guess the ages of the participants. Are you ready for this?
No, I don't want
and
to
just
do this.
because since Tina opened, since Tina in the chat room decided to open the gates of hell, I will. What? Go ahead,
Mike. Let me prep for this. Or Matt.
While Sorg is prepping, Tina's also asking, was it weird when Vicky was courting Edge and Dolph?
All right, let's play the game, and then you can
adults.
You can get into this.
Edge was damn near 30.
All right, here we go. Let's start rambling through these things. Gentlemen, it is 1999 in the WWE, and indeed one of the great wedding storylines of all the times has just occurred. Indeed, Stephanie McMahon and Tess' wedding was interrupted by Triple H. How old is Stephanie? How old is Tess? And how old is Triple H at this point in time in 1999?
I believe that Tess would have been 26, and Stephanie, would she be 21 yet? Let's see, where were we with? She had to have been 21.
All right, I'm gonna say Stephanie was 22, Tess was 26, and Triple H was 29.
Those are very good guesses. Stephanie was 23.
So close.
Tess was 24.
Okay.
And Triple H was 30.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to another one that just came up in the
the ages of that is fine. What happened in that storyline is not. But I knew Stephanie was of age because she was drinking champagne at the bachelorette party where she got drugged and Triple H brought her to a drive-thru wedding chapel. Which, by the way, I still don't think that legally counted. Because he's on camera going, oh, yes, I do. Like, no. That's not how that works, even in the sleaziest Vegas drive-thru.
Close enough for
Mike, if you have the right lawyers, it can all stand up.
That's what she said.
Okay. All right, let's go to another one. It was just brought up in the chat room. It is 2001.
Oh, boy.
Vince McMahon has a new friend. It's Trish Stratus. How old is Vince? And how old is Trish? It's 2001.
He was
1,000.
Was he in his 50s? I want to say he was like 55. Let's go. What did he just turned 70 a couple years ago, right? But that's a clue, I know.
Or don't influence your guess, just
I would say he was like, I'm going to go 52. I'm going to counter that a little bit because I think I mathed it right. I think. And Trish would have been 24.
I'm going 24 and 48. I'm going Trish was half his age.
All right. Again, excellent guesses. Trish was 25 years old. Vince McMahon was 55.
Ooh.
Oh,
right.
should have won with my first guess.
Ooh.
All right. All right. Fair play here to the flip side of this.
This isn't making me feel better.
No, it's not meant to make you feel better. We're just having some fun. It is 2007.
Fun either.
Oh, we're just gonna do a couple more. And we're gonna see if this cheers you up because we'll play the flip side of this. It is 2007. The Ultimate Opportunist, Edge, has found a new angle with Vicky Guerrero. How old is Vicky, and how old is Edge? It's 2007.
2007. Edge is 32, and Vicky is 44.
I'm just going to echo that because that's around about what I would say.
Edge is 34. Vicky Guerrero is 39.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
Really?
Yes.
Really? Who else? Who else? Well, Dolpho's a lot younger. That's where she got the Cougar moniker, right?
Well, no, she got it with Edge too, but
Got with Edge?
They're 5 years apart.
It's like 5 years. What the hell? My wife's
right.
like a year and a half older
Yeah,
than
but
me.
to be fair, WWE ages up any woman who's over 35, so that's probably why.
Look at this 60-year-old woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at her. Okay, I got a couple more here. We're gonna rifle through them really quick. Since you invoked his name.
Hold on, the Pokemoners are going by again.
Oh, okay. We shouldn't talk about this in front of them. Okay, here we go.
You
No,
can see
it's
'em.
okay.
There they
They
go.
have the internet. They've seen
I love
porn.
it. I love it.
All right. It is 2012.
I'm glad that I don't have you guys on speaker out here.
Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler has a new friend. It's AJ Lee. How old is AJ? How old is Dolph? It's 2012.
God, I want to say 22 and 28.
23 and 30.
You're,
23 for
you're
AJ.
on the right track, Mad Mike. AJ Lee is 25. Dolph Ziggler is 32.
Oh, I was off by 2 on both of them.
Okay.
So I had the age difference right.
Yeah.
I just need to shift it.
Well, I mean, her
Okay.
gimmick was also like that girl from high school. So that like ages her down in your head.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Last one, I promise.
Oh boy.
It is the year 2000. And truly a love affair that stays with us still to this day. Who
I
can
know where you're
forget
going.
Mark Henry
Yeah.
and Mae Young? How
Yeah,
old is
yeah,
Mark?
yeah.
How old is May? It is 2000.
I'm going to go 65 and 34. No. 30. No, 26.
I was gonna say Mark Henry ain't that old now. Sorg.
I forgot what era Mark Henry I was thinking.
I'm gonna go 28 and for the lulls 69.
You are right on track again, Mike. All right. Mark Henry is 29.
Ah, so close.
Mae Young is 77.
Damn it.
Also, for such a big, powerful man, softest handshake, Mark Henry. Like not like firm, but just like I thought this man was gonna crush me.
Matt, what year was that again?
That is 2000.
All right, so Jen Collins, your wife, was asking how old is the hand now? The hand is 20.
The hand is almost drinking age.
The hand can go.
And we know that the hand is a real character in WWE canon because the hand showed up on TV all grown up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who the hand endorsed.
No, I have a question. What's weirder? The fact that the hand that Mae Young birthed is a canon character on WWE, or in canon, Sheamus and Beaker the Muppet are related? What's weird?
What's weirder?
Yeah.
Oh, the hand thing's definitely weirder.
It's
Really
definitely-
weirder than Sheamus being related to an actual Muppet.
Listen, man, I've been trying to think about
hands. I'm just
my
saying.
entire life has been figuring out the dichotomy of Muppets. Okay.
Sorg. Fucking
think that's the right
Muppets. How
word.
do they work?
Dude, I've contemplated this. I'm like, wait, why is the rat talking, but none of the other rats are talking? What is going to happen with the pig and the frog, and just things in general?
I've always wanted to know why.
And why does everybody look so uncomfortable crouching down to talk to him? Even Mark Hamill.
I mean, it's difficult. I mean, you're sending. It's like almost trying to like overthink the Cars universe. That can really mess with twist your brain into pretzels. Also, that's very problematic if you go too far down that one.
I think I just drove through the town from that movie actually today.
You should be right around there. Actually, you should go find Radiator Springs.
We didn't get off, but we were along 66. We were going back on 66 actually. So, yeah.
So
I'm
from Radiator Springs.
I find myself looking for Lightning McQueen. Damn, I'm gonna go watch that movie after this.
Sorg, I feel like it might be time for a break.
That sounds great. And you know what's great? You know what Matt's going to be able to partake in that I won't be for the next 2 weeks? That is Slice on Broadway, our friends in Pittsburgh, supporting the Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. I did that even with some beer. You can 3 locations, Beachview, Carnegie, and East Liberty. That's without a graphic for me to look at too. But no, go check them out. They've been supporting us for a good long time. And they even let a beast man tear up their place. But thank you so much for those guys for supporting the show for so long. And I believe Matt is queued up the video. Let's take a little bit of a message. You're going to hear from Katie, and somebody's going to tell you what you should be doing or what I should have been doing when those kids walked up to me. And we'll be right back with a big question after this.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Yo. It's a Wrestling Mayhem show. We are here. I am still in Arizona. I'm still in Kingman, Arizona. It's wonderful. It's still warm here. It's not snowing. I think it is back where you guys are. But it is, and we're here. Matt Carlin's on the ones and twos back there in Sorgatron Media Studio in Pittsburgh, PA, making everything work. And of course, he's got the dancing. He's still got the wacky flailing inflatable.
No, this isn't wacky inflatable, wacky waving inflatable or filling tube, man. This is these have 3 shots of vodka in them each, and I'm almost done with my second one. So
all right. So we've gone from autumn mic to malt mic very quickly.
Moscow mic. No, that's
Moscow mic. No.
No, that doesn't sound great. Well, these are Moscow mules, so I don't know. Mad Mule. How about Mad Mule?
It could be something else, and somebody might do some fan art for that. But anyways, in the meantime, it is time for the big question.
Thanks a lot, Sorg. I do have a big question for you. You don't mind if I just jump in here, do you?
Go for
it. You've given me too much power. Okay, so last week, we so rarely get a chance to talk about Mad Mike's favorite blocked Twitter account, Impact Wrestling. And, last week, they elevated the art of the pro wrestling wedding to new heights. And indeed, I think they shot someone dead on Impact.
Yep.
I like how we came in with this a little bit toward the end of the show, but we had no details.
Yeah.
For those, everyone has seen this, right? Everyone saw this.
Matt,
right?
Were we not standing outside the studio with Larry until 1 a.m. discussing this concept?
It's just like
after the show last week.
Larry's like, "So what's been going on in wrestling?" And we're like, "Well, actually,
apparently gunplay's involved." And then what happened?
Yeah,
Jeez.
so yeah, Johnny Bravo getting who shot Bravo? Getting shot is definitely one for the history books when it comes to pro wrestling weddings. So the big question
by the
this
way-
week. What?
I'm sorry. How can he have a name like Johnny Bravo? Isn't that a Cartoon Network proprietary thing? Like, oh, thank you, ma'am. Oh, like
Maybe the trademarks have lapsed,
Okay.
or maybe it does count because it's sports entertainment versus cartoon.
Okay.
Either way,
Right.
if you
No,
can't
I'm-
confuse the two characters, you're good to go.
Well, one of them's alive.
Well, how did they get away with Mad Max in WCW?
It's WCW. No one cared. I'm sorry, Matt. What's the question?
The answer is they added an X.
The question is very simple. It's just jumping off of this, just this absolute elevation of the art of the pro wrestling wedding by Impact. What's your most cherished memory of pro wrestling wedding?
Oh, wow.
The one that really tugs at the heartstrings.
We talked about this last week. I talked with, or maybe I did with Mike.
No, we talked about it because I had just recently gotten married, which is still technically.
Oh, that's right. We're talking about weddings because of that. I am still fond of the Billy and Chuck one. While obviously a little problematic with the nature of it. I thought the story that they did and what they did with that was fantastic, and it was, I think, for the time, like, was a highlight every time we brought up SmackDown at the time, because it was a very will they won't they kind of thing with them. And then they did it, and then it went the way they did. But then, of course, the highlight, regardless, what do you think of whatever happened, with the, having having that kind of wedding in the late 2000s, right? And obviously that had, I think, definitely the parental groups up in arms at that time, the PTC, right? But the reveal, this is where brand extension was at the peak. Not this washed out crap we've had for the last 10 years, right? But at that point where it was Bischoff and Stephanie and they were going at it, right? And there were stakes and there were invasions and it was for real, right? And not overdone. That reveal of Eric Bischoff is one of the finest points in primetime WWE wrestling history.
I agree.
right,
that
so-
Bischoff reveal is an all timer, and I mean, it's been talked about to death, but it's so good.
Okay, so I was actually watching one of the Undertaker specials that they have on the network, the thing with him and Orton. By the way, Randy Orton talking on WWE Chronicle is my favorite Randy Orton, and I can't believe that I actually have a favorite Randy Orton.
Is it as good as Triple H talking about the art
it's
of the
so
nut
much
shot?
better. It's so much
That
better.
was great on Untold.
It's honestly so much better. Like, I wish
This is why I still
that
pay for the
Orton-
network.
Like, the weird thing is, like, it's always been said, like, to be a pro wrestler, you have to take yourself and turn yourself up to 11. I would rather people just be themselves, because if that's what they're doing in these documentaries, they're so much more entertaining than what they are on television. But he was talking about the Billy and Chuck thing, and he was talking about how great the makeup, prosthetics, and everything was. And apparently there was a point where they wanted to get makeup for Bob Orton Sr. to attack The Undertaker, and he was like, man, it just came out like shit. Like, I don't know who the makeup guy was, but you really fucked up. Like, he just called him out on the special because, like, it was amazing. But anyway, so I was looking up favorite wrestling weddings because I'm trying to go something outside the norm, and one that keeps coming to mind, and I wanted to make sure I got the details right on this, was Goldust and Oksana. Bobby F. J. Town just recently tweeted something today that he missed Oksana, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of miss Oksana too, for the weird Oksana needs a green card storyline. So let me just for those of you who are unaware or the uninitiated, let me just read the wildness of this wedding. Goldust was the NXT pro for Oksana, a native of Lithuania. Unfortunately, she got into jeopardy because of an immigration issue. Goldust decided to marry her to keep her in the country. His wedding outfit included the $1 million belt, which he had recently stolen from Ted DiBiase Jr. When the preacher asked if anyone objected to the wedding, the preacher said he did because he had a price. It was actually the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. The $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase came in bribing the preacher, but Dusty Rhodes had lined up Ted's father as a backup. So the $1 Million Man officially announced the couple as husband and wife, and when it was time for the kiss, Oksana slapped Goldust, and a few weeks later, immediately following her elimination from NXT, Goldust handed her divorce papers.
Okay.
Talk about hot-shotting an angle.
Yes, seriously, like within a matter of weeks, like wedding,
all of that to do nothing.
Divorce, yeah.
Yeah.
Just absolutely ridiculous. And we have a couple in the chat room. Let's see. Tina says, jokingly seeing Demon face Steph with the vow renewal between her and Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Steph was pretending she was pregnant. That was good stuff. AJ Daniel Bryan had a good one, too.
Good twist.
Yes. And obviously a timeless one, Tina says. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Miss Elizabeth. I remember.
That's when I knew love was real.
Mm-hmm, I remember the proposal more than I remember the wedding. Believe it or not, just because like Roddy Piper I wish when I proposed to my wife, I had Roddy Piper on commentary, saying, go ahead, ask her. Like I wish I had an angry not Scotsman screaming at me to pop the question.
Come on!
You mean an angry Canadian in a kilt?
I'm pretty sure he's Minnesotan.
I think he's Canadian. I will double check.
No, I'm pretty sure
he ended up in Portland. But...
Hold on, we're
gonna get the research department on that one. Okay, while you guys are typing, I'm going to throw in Edge and Lita. Notable for one specific thing, Lita's outfit, and another thing, Kane popping out of the ring. That's a terrifying moment.
I'm pretty sure Lita's outfit conspires of two different things. I'm just saying.
What?
Her boobs.
What?
Sorg. Her boobs.
Oh.
It was a deep V that night.
The Scotsman is born in Saskatoon, Canada, and he died in Hollywood.
Just how he
That's
wanted
sad.
to go out.
In Hollywood?
Yeah.
Was it a backload brawl?
He was. It is now. Can someone change the Wikipedia?
Was it the longest fight in cinematic history?
Jesus. Did it involve the OJ police race?
Oh, jeez.
That involved the OJ. They got into a white Bronco.
Oh.
You had to get. Yeah, they did. And then they played like the footage, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that was great. That's a good question.
Yeah. Also, wasn't Edge and Lito the one where Kane popped his head out of the ring apron?
Yes, exactly. We were too distracted discussing Lita's outfit that I did also mention very quickly. Yes, and Kane popped out of the ring, but most importantly, anyway, yeah.
Let it never be said that this podcast won't find some way to talk about Lita's boobs. That's how we started, and God damn it, that's how we'll go out. This is kind of how
this podcast started, so it's always appropriate for us to pay tribute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Nothing but respect for our luchador bride. Hold on. I'm missing one of the most important weddings of all time. I'm changing my answer. I am changing my answer. The wedding of Taya and Johnny Mundo.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Holy shit. I want to watch that episode of Lucha Underground again because that wedding was colorful. and it had a demon monster appear, much like your choice, Matt. And Taya ended up cake-faced. And after that, she got possessed by a doll. There was a lot happening there.
Like, I know I love that I have been married for so long, but what I wouldn't give to be able to put on the wedding I would want to now, because I had no expectations of wedding. It's just like whatever you want, whatever you want to do, you know, this is you know, your day kind of thing. But man, I want a wedding that's my day. So, and it will involve half the stuff you guys just said.
Sorg, you know what? Have a wedding during a pandemic, and then your wife will let you walk down to the Star Wars Cantina theme.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. Yeah, I brought my mom down, and I'm like, Ma, you're walking down to my wedding listening to Star Wars music. How do you feel about that? She had no response. It was great.
She's just happy it's happening.
Yeah, yeah. Aren't we all?
What it is. Like, finally. Yeah. All right. Well, I think with that, we do have a time to get educated for another deep discussion.
This fucking guy.
And we do have that video. And Mike, if you can, or I'm sorry, Matt.
Yes.
We need to find hosts with different names, by the way.
They have M&M boys.
I'll answer to almost any insult, as my wife can attest. So.
I don't know why that reminded me, but I wanted to get out earlier that Matt needs to start a parenting wrestling podcast called Listen to Your Parents Talk About Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, sorry. That was in my head. I want to make sure I got it out of the world.
You know, I'm living that life, so it would only be appropriate.
Yeah. Dude, you have no idea that the podcast I have in my head, if I had kids by now, that we would have had with you and Doug and I think others. Anyways, I will just have to live vicariously through your children discovering wrestling. But in the meantime, let's discover wrestling and a little piece of ourselves with our review, talking about last week's homework assignment with Professor Jacob Edwin.
Wrestling Mayhem Show, this is my response to my open-ended, creative assignment for when's the last time that you believed in a match, in a promo, in a segment, whatever you want to call it. This was hard for me, personally. There were... You see, I had a response prepared for this, but you get this exclusive. The last time that I really felt something, was probably Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho in that party thing, that the celebration that Jericho threw, and he picked up the list, the present and the list, and it was the list of KO, and you saw this tragic scene unfold, and this was really good. This was really good by them, and it did make my heart sink. Before that, my answer was going to be Undertaker losing the streak to Brock Lesnar. I forgot where I was. I forgot what I was doing. I was sitting watching with friends. It was something I didn't believe could happen, and then it happened. Right in front of my eyes. I couldn't believe it. I was in awe. Someone asked me if I was okay. I mean, it really floored me. And it's something that will stick with me and I'll never forget. So, please, your responses, and thank you.
Good, Professor. Thank you so much for that.
Professor.
The good Professor
He's an evil
acknowledgement
professor.
pending, according to Mad Mike. So what was the last time that wrestling made you feel? That was a good accident.
Dated. That's a long time ago.
Well, I would say it's yeah.
Honestly, because, I'm sorry, Sorg. Do you have one? You can go.
So I gotta say, like for me, it doesn't happen a whole lot. I mean, maybe it is watching those matches like NXTs, things like that. Like the last I can remember, or something like a Bayley and Sasha from
Hell in a Cell, like a week ago.
No, like Brooklyn, take over Brooklyn. You know, like stuff like that. NXT is the ones that would bring that out of me, right? Or
Is he
war
talking about
games.
live or seeing it on TV? Because like
I think I don't know. Yeah, I think it's whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
Whatever experience. And for me, it happens a lot. Honestly, it happens whether I'm filming or and even if I know the finish or something, seeing somebody like John Roden win the RWA belt, and that's also because of the environment with that. We talked about the RWA fan base for ages, and I miss it. I miss it a lot. But it happening, knowing his story, literally watching people cry in the audience, it's like, that's the thing. Like, it's not just the thing that happens in front of you. It's that environment around the thing that sucks you in even further. Right. Like, it's that thing happening and you see the people in the front row and you're with the people in the front row that are just there and it's happening and it's believed, WrestleMania moments, like actual WrestleMania moments. And I can't remember last time a WrestleMania moment was like really like, holy crap, kind of thing. It's.
I'm going to tell you what the last time it was for me in a moment here. So tease that.
I did tease that. What about you, man, Mike?
All right. Well, if I'm thinking last time I saw it on TV, I'm gonna say definitely 2 matches during Hell in a Cell. The Bayley Sasha match, really, it was fantastic. Like, everything about it was just.
And I'm not discounting that. I'm just gonna let you know that I was on little sleep and 12 hours of a shoot at that point. So I had
everything's gonna hit everyone differently. Like, obviously, I was also there.
My head was about to hit the desk.
Yeah, like, I was also in the stadium for Bayley Sasha at TakeOver, like in Brooklyn. And I'm like, that was one of the times I've legit like rolled tears after, like, as a result of a match. Like, Bayley winning, that was very like, it's not the most recent time for me. The most recent time for me would be a lot of WrestleMania 35. Honestly, like, WrestleMania 35 between the Iconics winning, and you guys may laugh, but you know how much I love the Iconics. Kofi winning. Kofi, that was
a big one for a lot of people. Yeah.
That was palpable. Like, I haven't felt an arena like that in a while, in a long time. Like, that, like, everyone, and that was a big stadium for everyone to be, like, on the same page, on the same wavelength, everyone wanting to see the same thing. Like, you even had people wearing Daniel Bryan gear cheering for Kofi. Like, and then Becky closing out the night, too. Like, a lot of that just hit. Like, that was a good-ass WrestleMania. But I'm good. One more shout-out to something I saw on TV this year. Cena and Bray Wyatt. Like, we forget that Firefly Funhouse took you every which way, took you all sorts of directions, and holy crap, like, I was rolling. Anyone who saw me in the live chat while that was happening, I was rolling during that whole match. I was enthralled by every single aspect of it.
So and I'm sorry, like, it's just my angle of things, of course, but like, I love when I'm shooting or producing a show, and I kind of have an outline maybe of what's going to happen, maybe they give me a heads up if I'm lucky. But then stuff is happening in front of me, and I am like, a part of it is legitimately concerned because while stuff is happening, and I'm kind of worried about the safety of, people that are working and everything, and the equipment and us staying on air sometimes depending on what cords they grab. But it was the Joey Janela, Frank the Clown, and I apologize, I keep forgetting the name of the other guy that's involved in that feud. When they had, it was a great build between everything. But the way they went at it, and they even had a thing where Frank's guy started beating the crap out of a photographer. And like, you're just like, that's just the photographer that was out there. He just starts getting beat up, and it just looks like he's just gone off the rails. And it's like even in those, you take a moment to, and Robert Ego Anthony is the guy that I'm talking about here, and he stuff like that where it's like it gets so crazy where you forget this is real or not, not real or not what is in your head. Also, when Marshall Gambino gets in a fight with a fan, that's moments like that are kind of where I'm at with that. But then again, those are the moments where it does kind of become a little real too. So I am interested to hear what Matt has to say.
I'm interested in telling you my answer. Thank you very much. The good professor specifically mentioned when he was asking us this question last week that he wanted to know about a match that made us, jump out of our couch, that made us just forget, everything and just want this guy or this girl to win and just be so excited when it actually happens. And I have two very strong examples of times when that's happened to me. Moments in wrestling that, and there have been other ones, but these two stuck out in my mind. Just moments in wrestling that just brought me off the couch and got me so excited and just fist pumping, yes, yes kind of thing. The first one I'm going to bring up is from the G1 Climax last year. Jon Moxley versus Tomohiro Ishii. Moxley has just recently left WWE. He still has a lot to prove that he can be something truly special in professional wrestling, that he can elevate his game to an even higher level than what we saw when he was just Dean Ambrose. And this was the match. This, I believe, is the third match in the G1 for Moxley. And he beats Taichi, I think, in the first match. He beats Jeff Cobb in another match. But this is the match where me sitting at home watching it, and, my wife, Jen, she's watching it too. And we are, we like Mox. We are big fans of him. And we're watching it, and I want him to win because the understanding in my mind is that if he beats Ishii, it means it is on. Like, this is going to be a real push for him outside WWE, and he's really going to accomplish something in this G1. And that match plays out, and it's all the great things that I love about New Japan, where it just gets violent and intense and crazy stuff is happening. Ishii goes off the top rope and puts Moxley through a table in the middle of this match, and it's just crazy. And I'm not sure if Moxley's gonna win through this whole match, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, how far is New Japan really gonna go with him? And when he finally beats Ishii in that match, even Jen and I both off of our seats and just yes, because we knew it was yes. Because not only was it a huge win for Moxley, but he proved something in that ring that he could take his game to the next level. And I was so excited about just how good that match was and just excited about what else was still to come. That was a very exciting and more recent match. Now, I did mention also a WrestleMania match, Sorg, that brought me to my feet. And this is a little bit, some might think this is a little bit funny, but this again is me and Jen watching WrestleMania 28 in Miami. The main event, John Cena versus The Rock. Once in a lifetime, fellas. And just like all of the city of Miami on that night, Jen and I were just determined, I want to see The Rock beat John Cena. But that was not a sure thing. And really, I mean, this might be the last WrestleMania main event where you went into that main event going, I don't know. I mean, I really want The Rock to win, but it could go the other way. And when The Rock wins this match against John Cena, fellas, my wife and I, we jump off of the couch and she leaps into my arms and we embrace in just the ecstasy of a Rock victory at WrestleMania. She squeals in delight as I hold her high over our living room. Yes, The Rock has done it. That is all.
Wow. Save the rest for Patreon, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, seriously. You gotta make people pay for the rest of that.
Yeah. Don't give it away for free. Come on.
Was it just me? Anyway, those are a couple of examples I was excited to talk about. So I enjoyed this topic.
I gotta say a few years I've been watching Wrestle Kingdom, even not following these guys year to year, they're really good at building that and putting you at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what's happening. And who I don't know who Okada is, but maybe like you told me, like, oh, he's kind of their John Cena, and then going through those motions, and him and Kenny Omega, and Naito and anything with Ishii and Suzuki.
They're good at the thing I like that's really special about New Japan booking is just like the way they highlight the individual struggle. They highlight, this guy can't get over this hump. This guy can't do this one specific thing. He can do all these other great things, but he can't do this one thing. So that when he does it, you're like, yes, he did it. And that works all the way from like young lions getting in a little bit of offense against somebody all the way up to the main events of Wrestle Kingdom where Naito's finally winning the title.
It's because I think, and especially Kevin Kelly talks about it as sport. I mean, it's called the King of Sport, isn't it? And it is that. I mean, what do you hear when you listen to the Olympics and especially individual sports, right, versus team sports? Like, yeah, I don't know why skiing comes to mind, but or even the team stuff. Like, it's all about the struggle. How are the Browns doing? Will they get over this? What a magical season this has been doing. Can the Titans get over their hump and everything going on? Listen, I've not watched any football this year.
I was gonna say, Sorg, what are you talking about?
Sorg just named two sports teams. I'm weirded out right now. So
okay,
I thought you were just mentioning.
I thought you were just mentioning sports teams you had seen in movies.
It's the
Calgary, remember the Titans,
the Calgary Hitmen, and the Seattle Dragons, and the
absolutely
wait, that's something else.
Great rivalry.
Yep. Huge rivalry.
Who could ever forget that time, that bright August day when the Hitmen finally beat the Dragons? Mad Mike, you remember that one, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Dragons had their kid there. The Hitmen had a whole foundation. It was great.
all I know is nobody's going to beat the Gotham Knights this year.
No.
Someone did.
Stadium's
that was
gone.
Bane.
Yeah.
Bane
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hans Word.
Honestly, the most unrealistic thing about that movie was Antonio Brown being able to return that kickoff for a touchdown.
I think the most unreasonable thing was the then Mayor Luke Ravenstyle kicking off.
Fair.
That was some bullshit. Anyways, I do understand we do have a new assignment.
Yes.
And it is in the queue right now. Matt, hit that beautiful professor footage. I got it.
Hi, class. Thank you for joining me today. This one's going to be very simple, straight and to the point. I want you to go out and watch a match with Tracy Smothers. We're going to be open-ended again. That seemed to be a benefit for everyone last time. So go and find a match with Tracy Smothers. Tell me why he's unique, why he stood out, what you noticed about him, and anything else that you'd like to say about Tracy Smothers. Thank you, and I look forward to your answers. You can find my answer on Wrestling Mayhem Show, and you can find them on Facebook or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you.
Tracy Smothers. I gotta say, he's I'm looking forward to this. I am really looking forward to that. And I think there's a lot of choice stuff on the network, if I'm not mistaken, like beyond ECW. I can't remember having a direct interaction with him over the years, but I definitely attended or filmed a good number of shows that he's been a part of. Always a pleasure, and I'm gonna definitely I'm gonna look for something that's not on Indie Wrestling Network first of all. That's a Tracy Smothers classic, I'm sure. I'll see if Joe Nebraska has any recommendations.
I just looked him up on the network.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out what I want to watch.
I feel like not ECW. I want to dig into something else.
Oh
right?
no! I want ECW.
Okay.
I want ECW, and I'm seeing one that's calling my name only because I don't know who's in it. I think I'm gonna go. There's a 3-way dance elimination tag team match from Guilty as Charged 1999.
Holy crap!
The picture on it is just Guido and Tracy Smothers, and I'm like, I think this might be the match I watch. I don't know who else is gonna be in it, but I'm excited.
Doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I may just watch the whole show. Guilty as Charged 1999. Yeah, that's gonna be wild.
I dig it. Looking forward to it. And also, please let us know your match choices too. Going into this. So
I was gonna say, if you want, I can read off some other ones that are kind of hitting home if you guys are curious.
Yeah. Just give an idea what we're in for.
Let's see.
I'm really curious if they have how many matches they have involving the Southern Boys, because that's something I've heard a lot about. Have not been exposed to any of that stuff.
Clash of Champions 13, the Freebirds versus the Southern Boys.
Okay.
So wait, is Southern Boys him and Hemrick?
It is him and Steve Armstrong, I
Okay.
believe. But like I said, I've not seen any of it.
I think I have your match here. Matt.
All right.
You don't have to go with this one. I'm running through every match that Tracy Smothers has listed on the network. The Fabulous Freebirds versus the Young Pistols and Dustin Rhodes.
Oh, come on, the Young. Now, I heard a little bit about this. This is like the reboot of the Southern Boys. When WCW decided it was a little bit too Southern because they had Southern in their name.
and man, it's a 6-man tag.
Yeah.
So you got Dustin Rhodes in there too. That's from Great American Bash 1991.
WCW determined they were too Southern?
I mean, do you know, Sorg, do you have any idea how Southern you have to be for WCW to be like, yo, whoa, that's a little bit too Southern? Yeah, you got to be pretty Southern. So
okay, Sorg.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
There's a match from WCW Saturday Night: Tracy Smothers versus Flying Brian.
In.
Just WCW Saturday Night. That's it.
Can we start a thread? Let's start a thread on the group with match choices.
Yeah,
just
option. There's also ECW November to Remember 1998: Tracy Smothers versus Tommy Rogers.
Okay.
I don't know who Tommy Rogers is,
no,
but it's a 17-minute match on a pay-per-view.
Mad Mike, haven't you been doing your homework for Professor Edwin? Tommy Rogers was one half of the Fantastics. If you had remembered your lessons from Professor Edwin and been a good student like me, who pays attention to the professor and actually absorbs
I'm sorry,
these
I'm
lessons.
auditing the course.
Okay, sorry.
Wow.
I thought it was pass fail. I don't really,
Wow.
It's fine. Oh, all right. So the first match I see listed, and I'm gonna guess it's a squash match. Nikita Koloff versus Tracy Smothers. I'm going to imagine Nikita just destroys him. But
well, I mean, yeah, it's hard because Tracy does like a lot of good stuff, but he never gets like. From what I've heard, he only gets like a major push in some of these like second tier promotions. He's the only main event in like those second tier promotions, and then some of these major promotions, he kind of caps out at a certain point. But he's still, I was really good.
There's also from Clash of the Champions 16. There's a 15-man battle royal that has Tracy Smothers in it.
I'm in.
The picture of it is Kevin Nash's Oz.
Oh, it's on. Let's do it. Professor, does this count?
Fuck, I may watch several. That 15-man battle royal just sounds great.
Please post these in groups so I can follow up on them.
We're gonna see what we can.
I literally just went to the WWE Network, just typed in Tracy Smothers. It jumped to match. It has 64 different matches. Sorg.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
There's also the FBI versus the Gangstinators, which, if you forget, that is the combination of one of the Gangstas and one of the Eliminators. I believe it was Mustafa and New Jack. Oh no, Cronus and
New Jack and Cronus, I believe.
New Jack and Cronus, yes. But was
Saturn an Eliminator?
Yes.
Yes,
but I think Saturn got hurt, and that's why they needed a tag partner.
There's also a hot matchup Van Hammer versus Tracy Smothers.
There it is. That's what is that WCW Saturday
Yeah.
night? That's got to
Of
be
course
Saturday
it is.
night, is it?
Of course, Saturday night.
Yeah.
So you probably get bonus Dusty Rhodes on commentary.
Oh, he's going to the pay window.
Oh, there's also from ECW Hardcore TV, Tracy Smothers versus Sandman.
I need you to look and see if there is a Tracy Smothers versus Taz match anywhere.
There is.
Yes.
There is.
All right. There we go. Right in my wheelhouse.
Oh,
guys,
man.
guys,
All
guys,
right. So
guys,
I said I was
guys,
going to watch
whoa.
it. Hold on. I said I was going to watch a three-way dance elimination tag. I am changing my mind. November to Remember 1997. There is a four-way elimination tag.
Guys, Tina may have trumped you over on the Mayhem Show group. Some choice Tracy Smothers matches. One is Tracy Smothers versus Sue Young.
Wait.
Let's go.
Wait, all right. Okay, I'll watch that.
All right.
And Tina also says anything from Tracy at JCW, just the reaction of the Juggalos.
Yo, I did see Tracy at the Juggalos.
Yeah.
yeah,
there you
stuff.
And Matt,
yeah, it's
Matt,
choice.
You were asking for a Taz match.
Mm-hmm.
ECW CyberSlam 1997.
Oh man, it's even 97. Yes.
Mhm. Oh God! You
That's
want
a
something
good
that's even
vintage.
shorter? Masato Tanaka versus Tracy Smothers.
Yo, I want to roll back on that JCW. You realize why that was so wild, right?
No.
Because he comes out with the Confederate flag, and
no.
one of their songs is called "F Your Rebel Flag."
Nice.
Oh,
Like
no.
it's part of the thing. So just like,
dear.
and you also know Colt Cabana comes out as Officer Colt Cabana,
yeah.
and he says he's going to arrest everybody, right?
Mhm.
So like I mean that's how they play it, and well, most of us are in on it. Some people are too high to get it, but yes, I missed the gathering so bad.
This is gonna be. I can already tell this is gonna be a fun assignment, and we're gonna come back with like 3 or 4 matches.
I'm good. I may end up watching several matches.
Yeah.
Matt, here you go.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yep.
From Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
There it is.
Tracy Smothers versus Bruiser Bedlam.
Okay, should I know this man? Who is this?
I don't know. I'm
somebody
literally
cage
looking
match
him up
Bruiser
now.
Bedlam. He's got to be someone of repute, or he's an absolute no one. Not an absolute no one. I mean, he is in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I looked up Bruiser Bedlam. Ring names.
Yes.
Bruiser Bedlam.
Uh-huh.
Johnny Canine.
Hmm.
Taurus Bulba. I'm pretty sure that was a Darkwing Duck villain. I'm pretty sure. Orin Turgadon, the Terrible Turk.
What?
And the Mysterion.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling this might be peak Bruiser Bedlam, right here versus Tracy Smothers and Smoky Mountain.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't watch this. There are murder accusations.
What, in the match?
No. Just
That'd be
just
silly,
in
Sorg.
his
That'd be the second one this week.
in his real life.
Oh, the opponent?
Yeah.
The guy. Oh, the Bedlam. Well, if your name's Bedlam, what do you expect? Hey, so let's wrap this up because we got to wrap this up so I can play some night mini golf behind me. But anyway,
Wow.
It's calling my name.
Did you
You see, the night is still young where Sorg is. See, we're not just falling asleep out here on the East Coast, Mike.
Who said you're falling asleep? I'm on my second can of this bad boy. I'm almost done.
And I'm pretty sure I can't get any equipment from the office, so I'll just make do. Anyways, what did you guys learn this week in wrestling? Anybody?
Yeah, I learned that you can still talk people into the building because I want to give props again, even though I'm sure I've done it over the last couple weeks, to Eddie Kingston, who has single-handedly, through his skills on the microphone, gotten me extremely hyped to watch him and Moxley do battle for the AEW Championship coming up at Full Gear. There's your Full Gear preview, folks, as promised. I am quite certain Moxley's going to go through him in this I Quit match, but God bless you, Eddie Kingston. What a great success story. And you know what? Eddie Kingston ain't going to be complaining about 2020. 2020's been all right to him. At least I think so.
You tell me a year ago that Dean Ambrose and Eddie Kingston were going to have a damn pay-per-view match.
I quit.
I was going to say, what indie promotion?
Yeah.
But man,
where in Tennessee is this happening?
He's just been absolute fire. Again, not seeing the stuff this week with Dark and anything, but fire everything I've been seeing from Eddie.
Like honestly, if AEW wanted to impress me, and Lord knows they don't, I would hotshot the title to Eddie. I would hotshot it to him. He's the hottest thing. He's the hottest thing in their company right now, by far, and especially with what looks like a predictable TNT title match. Hopefully, that Darby gets it. What looks like a predictable TNT tag title match, with the Bucks getting it because they said they'll never challenge again if they lose. It would really be an icing on the cake if they changed all their titles at the pay-per-view. That would be fascinating. Like, and I really think that should happen. And especially, God, we could build to a Kenny Omega versus Eddie Kingston match. Oh, sure. Yeah. Sign me up. I'm already in.
Oh, you took my breath away with that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Just think about that build. Kenny Omega versus Eddie Kingston. And not in a Chikara ring. Like, that just sounds fascinating to me.
Well, for mine, I've learned, I'm very sad that I'm going across the country and I don't even have the opportunity to even try to explore if there's indie wrestling across the country. That kills me not being able to do that right now with everything. But of course, gotta be safe. Even in listen, man, the last 2 states I've been in are locked down. It's crazy. It's good. But I do appreciate that while we have a loss there, we do have a loss that professional wrestling does. Matt, what'd you learn? Matt, what'd you learn?
Oh yeah.
Am I going away?
I was just about to say. I think somebody. I was getting ready to butt in, but I didn't want to step on you. You kept sounding like you were gonna revive yourself, but it sounds like they turned the Wi-Fi off out west at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So, but I think we've got you back. But yeah, I already gave mine. But Mad Mike, I believe you owe us one.
Yeah. I learned that Alexa Bliss podcasts just like I do, in that she makes sure she has props within arm's reach to ask if Nikki Cross had Furbies in Scotland.
Awesome.
That's a real thing. By the way, if you don't listen to Alexa Bliss's podcast, it's honestly delightful. It's really fantastic.
I watched. Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
Am I here?
Go ahead.
Okay. I watched some interview, like, because they show some of it on network, and I watched one with some pop guy, and I was like, I don't know what this is. Like, I am a fan. It's not people I like doing podcasts. But
Ryan Cabrera.
Yes.
That's
so, but
so that's probably why. But everyone else has been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. It was the one that was on the list. I was just like, let's see what this is about. I was like, what the hell is this? Okay.
Ryan
Guys,
Cabrera
thank you
has
so
Ed
much.
Song all the way down, Sorg. Come on, how do you not know this?
Matt Carlins, thank you so much. He was working the pole all day, and it's good that he came into the studio to keep things straight with us. And good to have you on board here. Having a physical presence in the studio takes so much off of my worry right now.
I would like to point out for the record, especially to you, Alex Cars, I did not knock this feed off the internet. So
I
win.
would like to give props to us that we did not make one working the polls joke this entire show.
Unless it was taken
Until
literally,
now.
and that it was just a true statement.
Yeah. I think we went pretty hard on the poll work last week on the show, though.
Hey, that's real work too, Sorg.
Are we waiting for me to close the show? I guess that's still my job. Okay.
It's still your job.
Sorgy,
Come on.
I'm weird.
Take
It's
us
just
home.
He's sitting in my chair on Batista's face. So, I mean, it's just kind of, weird. And I just woke up Siri on my iPad. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for checking things out. Again, not this week. We're kind of stretching things out since we're, of course, with the traveling situation. But Hank Hudson will be the Indy Mayhem show next Friday. Also, please check out last week's episode. We talked to Arthur MacArthur about wrestling and him. And actually, he does have a Tracy Smothers story that he shares on that show. And this was like a week before Tracy's passing, of course. Please go check out 2PW's Hardcore Halloween. It's a lot of fun. And the gifts, it just a lot of crazy stuff, including attempted vehicular homicide and attempted other homicide, apparently. And some of those clips you will only see on the pay-per-view. It's not going to VOD. It's not going to DVD. It's only going to be on there. Check out everything else that's going on. Of course, our friends at Fight Underground, new matches happening, going to be happening weekly here throughout the rest of the year. Excited to see how all those come out. What do you guys think of what's going on with Fight Underground? A lot of new faces that we got to meet over the last couple of weekends as well. So with that, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mad Mike. Thank you, Matt Carlins. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.